Okay, the recording has been started. If you decide to listen to this recording later, just for fun, or because you've forgotten something, um, you'll notice this was a little confusing to me at first. You won't see the video of people, but you'll see everything else. So there's nothing wrong with it. It's just how GoToMeeting works. So the first thing I'm going to do is I think you can see my screen. I am going to go and we're going to watch a 3-minute movie. And there's some music in the background. If you don't like the music, that's fine. There's not really audio to this other than the music. So we're going to start this. All right. Oh, there I have you guys back again. I love that video because it just has such a good perspective. All of those things, most of those things I have heard, I still hear. If a child has a digital textbook, some people do think that's cheating. I mean, it's just kind of amazing people's perspectives. And it's not that I don't understand it, it's just that I think that this is the 21st century for sure, and that we need to think of how to provide instruction in a way that meets um, everyone's needs. And everyone's needs, even general ed students, everyone's needs are different. So anyway, I just wanted to begin with that. And then I think I am going to go get out of YouTube here. And just go into the Blackboard. So I'm hoping that most of you got to look at the syllabus and you have a little bit of an idea of what to expect. I'm kind of excited. I'm always excited to teach this class because I think I learned just as much from everyone here as maybe hopefully you'll learn from this class. I mean, people just come in with different perspectives, explore different ideas. It's really exciting. And it's not about one of the fun things about assistive technology is there's no really one right way. There's a lot of right ways. And especially in this age of innovation, the opportunities and the possibilities are pretty remarkable. So we're going to explore some of those things. We're going to start with the basics, learning about what assistive technology is and even what it isn't, because it's just not all technology. We are going to cover universal design for learning as well, which is more all-encompassing. My husband's waving to me. And so that's a piece of it as well. But we're going to learn about what those two things are, what makes them different, what makes them similar, how the same thing could be a universal design feature for some students and it could be assistive technology for other students. So the same thing can be different for different students, and we're going to learn about that as well. And then there's just the whole concept of just technology as a whole. I mean, things like smart boards and document cameras, and we're not going to go so much into the nuts and bolts of that kind of thing, but that kind of technology is something that many of us have in our classrooms today, and that brings the curriculum, it makes the curriculum more accessible to more students. So it's really pretty exciting. Um, are there any questions before I continue talking? I'm going to look in the chat box too, just in case somebody. I'm thinking no questions. Okay. When I first started teaching this class online a year and a half ago, I think this was the first St. Mary's class. I mean, not from the online tract, but the St. Mary's face-to-face tract. I think I was the only class that was taught completely online, and I think that's maybe not true anymore. So, have most of you had an online class before, or is this kind of a new experience? Yes, you've had online classes before. I'm seeing nods.
Yep. I love these online classes. They save so much time. I got to join you tonight because my parent conference got stuck in traffic.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
And you're coming to us from an iPhone, is that right, Leslie?
I'm on a MacBook Pro.
Okay.
Like I said, my 6 o'clock conference canceled, so I didn't have to run up and down the hallways with my iPhone. I could just use the computer.
Oh, that's great. All right, I'm looking in the chat box. I try really hard to answer emails as promptly as I can because I know everybody's busy and I don't really want people to get stuck because they haven't heard back from me. And basically, it's easy to return emails, so I just try my best. Okay, so most of you, or at least most of you who have answered, have had online classes. So that's great. And Adam, I'm glad that you're here and I'm happy to have you back in class. That's wonderful. Okay, so I think maybe there won't be a big learning curve on how to do an online class. Is that probably is very helpful. I think I'm going to just walk you through this site just in case it's just a little bit different than what you're used to, and you can tell me if you have any questions. Oh, Emily, that's a good picture. I like that. Anyway, so the announcements page, as you probably noticed, that I have the choice when I create an announcement to have it sent to each of you, or it can just stay on the announcements page. And I don't send all announcements to the class. I mean, if there's an overwhelming people want me to, I certainly can. It doesn't take me any extra time, but I don't really want to clutter up people's email boxes too much. So I'll send you an email if it's something that's really rather timely, like a meeting information, that kind of thing. But if it's something, it doesn't really matter if you're not on Blackboard for a day or two and you just read it when you get it. So that's kind of what I'm thinking about that. Oh, now my cat's joining us. Um, so anyway, so that's kind of what my thoughts are about that. And I do make a fair amount of announcements, so it's good to check back every so often. And then here, if you look on the left sidebar, this is where you're going to find a lot of things. The syllabus in the textbook, you've probably already seen. This getting started folder is kind of important. And I'll refer back to this folder quite frequently when I'm answering questions. Um, One of the things that people have liked is the course roadmap. And basically, that's the syllabus, but it's not 35 pages long, it's 3 pages long. And it'll just kind of guide you into what's happening each week. I know sometimes there's a lot going on and it's easy to get, I don't know, miss something. So hopefully that will help. Um, this is just a link to the training module site, and there's links wherever I require you to listen to one of those modules. There's a link there too. But this right here, this link, this is basically how to kind of information. And so this would be a good first place to start if you're having any questions about how to use the technology. There's not everything there. It's just if I find something, I add it to the site. And then if we go down to the left side bar, here are each week. So I think many of you have already been here. And this is just going to walk you through each week. And I like to occasionally have activities that aren't just discussion boards because I think the discussion boards are a lot of writing and not a bad thing. But that's why you're going to occasionally get things like voice threads, and there's something called a flip grid, and a few other things. I don't want to overwhelm you with technology, but sometimes it's just nice to be able to make a comment without having to write it down. And it's nice for me because I get to hear your voices and see your faces, and I think that's all pretty fun. So if you have any trouble at all with any of the technology, just know I'm not grading you at all on how tech savvy you are. So if you're going to have trouble with the voice thread and you just can't get the video to work, really don't sweat it. Write a text comment instead, or send me an email or whatever. Do it in a different way. That's okay. I just kind of want people to experience different possibilities and to explore the technology. So I'm interested more in people trying, and maybe you'll decide voice threads are just really too much work. I would never really ever use this again. And that's really good information. or you might find a different technology that's something you might be able to integrate into your classroom or use in a different situation. So I just want to give people different experiences. It's not about how pretty something looks or how, tech wonderful it is. So it's just about experiencing things. And it looks to me from this voice thread already that people are getting the hang of it. So I'm pretty impressed. All right. So let's see what else. Oh, another thing is I think almost every one of you has signed up for a group already, and that's pretty exciting. Um, you can go back to the doodle poll to see who's in your group, but I'll be making an announcement tonight or tomorrow morning, just confirming everybody's groups. And I originally had people do 3 group projects, and I have found that that's not really popular because it's really hard for people to connect in groups. So that's why you have one required group project, and then there are 2 other projects later in the course you can choose to do as a group if you want to. You could even choose a different group. So if you wanted to just work with like one person, you could. So if you get something out of groups, you can do groups, and if it's just easier for you to do things on your own, that's fine too. And the other 2 activities are the website, the Assistive Technology Toolbox. You can choose to do that as a group if you want to. And then later in the course, there is a presentation that you can do as a group or on your own. So totally your choice. The reason why I insist on the first project, which is the assistive technology consideration, to do that as a group is best practice in real life. You would do that as a collaborative effort. So I was hoping to mimic that in some way. Okay, I'm just going to look at the web chat or the chat box for just a second. You are so right, Rachel. Group projects are tricky. Um, One thing I know with this group in the past is occasionally people have actually met face to face. I don't know about everybody in this class, but often people just live in the area, so they just meet at a Starbucks or something. And, that's fine. It's not really exactly what I was thinking about, but it's no problem. And if that works for you, do it. I know in the past, some students actually even work together. So, do what works for you. Otherwise, I would say use Google Hangouts. That's pretty easy. There's a website called freeconferencecall.com if you're not really comfortable with the whole webcam thing. You just sign up, you dial a phone number, and it's a conference call. And that's pretty easy too. So, probably the most difficult thing is arranging a time that you guys can get together. Okay. See, what else do we have here? Oh, a new technology that I just started last time around, and I don't think I have the links active yet. I just wanted to show you what it looks like. It's called Flipgrid, and this is just a wall from one of my other classes, and I just kind of wanted to show you what it looked like. So here are questions for different weeks. Click on that. And basically, you just answer the question. All these people answered the question. You have up to 90 seconds.
So I took a look at the Minnesota State math standards and was thinking about how we can incorporate assistive technology and universal design for learning into that. And really, like with any.
So I kind of just wanted you to see what that looked like. And you'll have a link, and you would just click on the link, and then you would click on the plus, and you would just go from there and you would record yourself. The only problem I anticipate with that is if for some reason you have a computer that doesn't have a webcam. And if that's true, if it ends up being a real problem, you'll again just let me know. But if you have a smartphone, just download the app and you can do it from your smartphone or whatever tablet device you have. So you don't have to do it from a computer. People liked it from my last class. It was really pretty easy and a quick thing to do. But that's something maybe you haven't experienced yet. Um, so in week 2, I would say the big thing is the assistive technology toolbox. And that is actually an activity assignment that you're going to be doing over a few weeks. And basically, it's a website. I would recommend that you use Google Sites. It's something you have access to through your Gmail, St. Mary's Gmail account. It's very easy to use. Um, I will put this out in the announcements, but next week we'll have an optional, so really you don't have to come if you don't want to session. And basically somebody's going to come and walk you through how to create a Google site. So if you're new to making websites or anything like that, please come to the session. Otherwise, you can probably find everything you need to know either through the YouTube video I posted in the instructional technology or just searching through the Google Sites platform because it's pretty basic. And so that's one option and the one I recommend. But you can do anything you feel comfortable with. So if you are savvy at making Pinterest boards, you could make an AT Toolbox Pinterest board. You could make a WordPress blog. You could make, I'm blanking right now, but I suppose you could make a Facebook page. All you really need is you need to have a vehicle where you can gather information, be able to perhaps post images or a video, text description, and have it be something that's open so all of us can view it. So sometimes people have asked if they could use their district school webpage. And yes, you can if we can all get to it. But if we can't get to it, sometimes depending on the privacy, some of those things are blocked, then it might be difficult. So definitely use something. I'm hoping you use something that you'll want to continue to use in the future. So basically do something that's comfortable for you. Okay, let's see. Somebody said they were supposed to use Flipgrids in another course, but the links aren't working currently. If the links aren't working in my course, it's because I have not made them active yet. And that's because I just stopped a class on Sunday and I started this class on Monday. So I need to I need to recreate the questions so they're empty with no answers in. So by the time you have to do it, the links will be active. And somebody else asked, are we going to always meet at this time or will it change each week? We actually won't be meeting in real time every week. And I'll post this in the announcements. Next week is an optional session and it has been scheduled. I believe it's at the same time, Tuesday at 6 o'clock, but I will double check that and then post that information. And then on the 23rd, March 23rd, That is a required session. That's a Monday and it's at 6 o'clock. So I apologize. It's at a different time. I try to make these things as consistent as possible, but it's hard when you have guests. And that's our panel. And everything's recorded. So if you can't come, you'll have all the information. But I'm hoping that everybody will be able to come. So that's the third week. And then the only other session that we will for sure have will be in week 7. And it hasn't been scheduled yet, so I can't tell you when it's going to be. I'm assuming it'll be a Monday or Tuesday, but I don't really know yet. And if we have any other sessions, it will kind of be based on what people want. I mean, sometimes classes do want to touch base another time. They have questions or they just need more information about material. I'm happy to do that. I sometimes do that in week 4, week 5. But I kind of play that one by ear, and if I do 1 or 2 of those sessions, those would probably be optional as well. So I will definitely, the 2 sessions I have the times on, I will post that in the announcements probably sometime this evening. And yes, there'll be reminders, a couple of reminders for sure. Does anybody else have any other questions? Okay. All right. Well, okay. Well, I think that's about it. I'm I think this is going to be a great class. I'm looking forward to starting reading your posts. Oh, one thing about posts I just wanted to say, and I noticed this a little bit earlier when I was looking through the discussion. If you notice in some of the earlier weeks, I say that the initial post is due on Wednesday, and in some of the later weeks, I said Friday. And the reason that is, and I haven't changed that yet, is because I think in my last class, I had some people ask me to change that till Friday because they were having a little trouble getting things done. And so I did. And I am really not a stickler if you get your initial post in by Wednesday or in by Friday. The main reason I want people to do the initial post earlier in the week is because if there aren't any initial posts, then nobody has anything to respond to. So, but I think if you get the initial post in before the weekend, then people have the weekend to respond. So, you can kind of judge your work schedule and just know I'm a little bit flexible on that. I'm gonna look, see if there's any more questions. Okay, well, if you think of any questions, you can either post it in the Ask the Instructor discussion forum or you can email me directly. And you can even call me. My number is on the syllabus. Otherwise, I think that's it. And I'm really excited about the class and I hope you'll enjoy it too.
Thank you.
Oh, thank you.